welcome back. The second part of today's episode of Blades in the Dark. I'm excited because downtime means I don't have to be at 8 of 9 stress anymore. It's freaking me out a little.
Yeah, yeah. Sitting there too.
Operation Get Hitched is going to need to take a back seat to Operation Do Not Lose the Game.
Yeah, you're playing it very fast and loose with your stress.
That's how I do.
I think all of us are sitting high on stress, so this is going to be interesting.
It's true to life. Just operating at 8 of 9 stress forever.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I can take on more stuff. That's cool. Let's go.
I think if we're now, since you've had your trauma for more than one session, so now if you don't you indulge your vice, you will get another stress no matter what.
It's true.
That is a fact. You are now a slave to your vice.
Yep.
And your vice is not your girlfriend. So
no. My vice is looking
Could be.
fancy.
Could be, but it's not.
Listen, I don't want to reduce her to a fashion accessory. If anything, it's the other way around. I need to look nice so that this beautiful peacock of a man can be paraded about town on the arm of this noble lady. So, I gotta look fancy, but I am unstable. It's true. And I was looking at, this is the funny thing, like in games, I find I do this with games where there's like narrative like tags for negative conditions, like Torchbearer or Mouseguard or this, or like even Apocalypse World. I try to take the ones that seem like they make my character cooler. I'm like, oh, whatever, unstable's not bad. It's like, it's cool. It makes me more cool. I like my scars. So I'm like, I'll just take them in order from most cool to least cool. You'll know that Cantor needs to be retired when we hit the only one left is soft. And I'm like, well, I guess that's it.
Don't worry, he'll die way before then. You pour trauma and you're out, so you're set. You'll never have
When the choice is you take deadly harm or soft trauma, Cantor can be like, nope.
No,
I die.
I'm out. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's make it happen. I want to do the things.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
Strash, you always got plans. You want to go first?
Yeah, I do. I totally do.
You're the plan wizard.
So there's a couple of things I got to do. The first question that I have for you, John, is how many downtime actions do we get?
Well, the good news is you are not, in fact, at war with the Red Sashes right now. It's good. It's good in two ways. One, they would know if you were. You haven't done the first thing yet that's gonna, make it official.
Cool. I think
So,
I have two actions that I want to take. One of which is recovery, one of which is one vice, and then we spend money and we see how many money it takes to finish my demon binding of Sitara.
Yes. The other thing I was gonna say is when you're at war, you lose one hold on your tier. You guys are weak. You've always been.
That is savage, John. Come on.
Yeah,
man.
you're weak. You heard me.
You guys are weak. Your characters suck too.
So that means after you kick off this war with the Red Sashes, you're going to drop back to tier 1 effectively, because your hold's going to go down and you're going to slip back down. So them's the breaks. There's not a whole lot you can do about that unless if somebody wants to acquire an asset during this downtime that constitutes a larger gang, then when you get knocked down, you'll keep your tier 2 gang because you're going to bulk up for the war. Basically, you're going to bring on some more guys so that when you have to guard your places against the Red Sashes, your current, gang can cover that, and you'll still have a tier 2 worth of dudes to fight with. So you can't do anything else about your tier, really. It's just gonna drop. That's what happens when you're weak. But you can buffet your gang if someone wants to take that on, you can do that.
Yeah, that sounds more like a Cantor IRC kind of issue.
Gotcha.
Oscar's
I just
more
wanted
about
to throw that out there.
finishing up some demon bindings and, doing the thing.
Yep.
All right, Strash, what's first?
Step one, I want to see how far I get along on the recovery of my hand. Because I've been dragging that forever.
Yeah, that one's been nasty.
3, 4, 5. I have 5 out of 8, so that's where I'm at.
All right.
So yeah, let's see what happens with that. I think I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I usually do, which is work with Quellen.
Yeah.
But I think this time Oscar actually like hands her an ingredient list and says, "Make this," and he's gonna make essentially what is the equivalent of like a bath, and he's gonna try and sink his hand into it, and it sort of like goes in way deeper than the container in the same way that it does with the lake when he like summons Satara. So
Nice.
that's what I'm gonna do. So
tell me about your Satara clocks again.
I've got a 2 out of 8 Satara favor and a 4 out of 8 demonic pact, which is the one that I'll be working on momentarily here.
Yeah. Okay.
I would like to point out
That's the sound of your
that
fate coming to run you over right now, Oscar.
I
Like
will
that's
point out that I have 4 ticks left on the binding, and I have 4 coin in my pocket. So one way or another, that's getting done.
Josh wants those advanced moves.
I hear you. Yeah. I was thinking about a devil's bargain for your healing, and I think I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna do that. So.
All right. So Quellen is quality 1, right? And she's a friend, so that's 2 dice.
2.
No, it said 6 right before that. I was like,
Oh yeah, I did. It flipped.
oh.
It was so close.
All right.
That is only 1 tick.
Well, sucks to be me. All right,
Yeah.
moving right along. Let's do some vice clearing.
The good thing with you is that you're not usually like in fist fights or duels, so your burned hand kind of doesn't hurt you too much.
I'm about to be. When we go to war, it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, that's true.
if we get to a point where you are fighting someone with your hands, we've drastically fucked up.
Well,
That's true.
Who let you in on this fight?
See, the thing that scares me is that I'm at 6 out of 8, and this has been the most painful clock. And if I fail a roll, like the one with the crows, and I don't resist properly, I'm just going to have to reset the clock and start from 0. So I keep wanting it to go away, but the dice are not cooperating because it's a spiritual wound and it burns in the ether. So, you know, like you do.
Yeah, and also the thing you guys haven't been building up is like this aspect of it, right? You haven't been improving the quality of your healer and that sort of stuff. You've been like ratcheting up your size and stuff. So recovery is not your forte. That's not really your specialty.
So
unless you're RC, I guess.
I was just say, RC's just like, I'll shrug it off.
Whatever.
So I think for my vice, my purveyor is actually one of the is one of the like sane ghosts that leads a ghost faction in the city, I believe. And I think
the reconciled.
The reconciled, that's right.
Yes.
So I think that you know how like Cantor goes on dates with like a nice like captain lady, and you know he like goes to fancy parties. And,
Linnea.
Yes,
Captain What's Her Face.
Beautiful Captain What's Her Face. Beloved of the city.
So I think that there's this like stark contrast because in the last episode we saw Cantor going on dates, and this time we see like Oscar. It's not quite a date because there's no like romantic entanglement involved, but it's a very similar. Like if you think of this as a movie or a TV show, it's got a very similar structure, except that Oscar's going to parties and places that like ghosts and demons and vampires frequent. So it's the same thing, but just like really different in terms of like the visual style, even though it's shot in a very similar kind of like
The goth club version of us.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
you're
like a little
the-
fan service. There's like Anya is in one of the shots, and the fans can be like, "Oh," because she's like a fan favorite. The actress who plays her is like, you know.
Yeah.
That's from a different geeky show that everybody totally loves.
Oscar's the Jared Sorensen of the group, I guess.
Yeah, he always goes to Mercury when he's in town.
Yeah, I think there's probably some really like tall looming figure that like the camera tricks you into making you think it's like Lord Edlund, but then it's just like some poser that like wants to look like Lord Edwin Sperlin, right? Like he around and he's just this pasty white. He's just a pasty guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think we're drinking essences and doing whatever it is that ghosts do.
Yeah, so
Ghost roulette, where people possess people randomly, and you have to guess which ghost it is or whatever.
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like there are seance spiritualism kind of parties that of course would be a huge. They were big in London, and ghosts aren't even real. In Duskwall, they're real.
You take that back, John Harper.
In Duskwall, there are actual ghosts you can talk to at a seance. So people do that all the time. Like, well, people that are into the Path of Echoes and stuff. The Church of Ecstasy people are very not into that, of course. But so yeah, there would be like clubs where one of the clubs you go to is it's in an old cistern where the pillars it's got the vaulted ceiling, of course, and where the water used to be kept, it's all been drained dry, and the ancient pillars that were built under there have been like, some of them have been cut out, so they've formed these huge stone tables. And people have there's
Doesn't threaten the integrity of the building at all.
no, it's fine. They over engineer all that stuff, right? So they it's a tradition to like mark stuff onto into the table as you're there, like doing your seance and stuff. So there's all these people's names, and they're like written in all these different languages and like ancient forms of writing and stuff. So you and Anya are there, and people let themselves be possessed and then speak from the past. And because you're sort of on the outskirts of the reconciled, like there is this inner circle, this weird congregation of spirits that haven't lost their humanity over the centuries for mysterious reasons. And so people can do stuff like, there's like a student from Duskwall Academy there who's like asking them about like the equivalent of like the Battle of Troy or something, and just like talking to the ghost direct, like, what was it like,
Man, nerds.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the reaction in the club. Everyone's just like, who did you sleep with?
Yeah, exactly. Tell us about the sex and the drug stuff, not the boring history crap.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like in True Blood, where they get fucking Bill Compton to talk at the church about the Civil War. And it's not even the fun battle stuff. It's the like, did you know my great grandpa?
Yeah, what was he like? Yeah.
It's fascinating. Yeah, it's interesting that this is such a big part of, like, I don't know. I wonder if I could convince some of our new clients, because this is probably something that Oscar does as Oscar, not as the Red Hand.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I could make this sort of like a spooky trip and sort of like invite some people out or whatever.
Well, I mean, if you take along your new goons, right? Like, and be like, hey, you want to go to
yeah.
you guys want to go to a cool party? You kids want to see a dead body? I mean, you're 14, so it kind of like, we lose the Stand By Me there, but still, like, yeah, if you're going to these things, you might as well take your new best buds.
They would love that. Yeah, that's like
all right. Let's do this. I'm gonna roll one die because that is my lowest attribute, and then I'm gonna add one for going with friends.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, look at that!
Hey.
I am at 0 stress.
Nicely done. Nicely
Close. That could have gone
Quality
poorly.
playing, Strush.
All right, sweet. And then, so now we get into the portion of the show where we spend some coins. And I'm going to spend my first coin to see if I can finish my interaction with Satara. So I think that there is, you know how like the last time I went and I bound Satara in the place that was my home? I think this time to finish it, I'm probably going to do it in the pool that she got bound to that's in our base of operations.
Yeah, so last time when you did that, the devil's bargain was um, that the pool that Skurlock had built in the tattoo parlor became Satara's, not his, as well as the one in the manor, which you did. So now you're going to go down to the tattoo parlor and like finish the process.
Yep,
Okay.
like you do.
Yeah, totally. So you see something interesting when you go to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You, let's see. You kind of, flit in and out of that place unobserved usually. Um, I think I mentioned last time, there's a separate entrance now in like the body chute, the coal chute that goes down there.
Yeah, very Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. But you can get in and out, without going through the parlor because it's nice now. It's like, a nice front for the operation. But as you pass around the front and look through the windows, Basho Baz is there, sitting in one of the tattoo chairs. He's got his sleeve rolled up, and they're giving him some ink, and he's chatting with Cyclops and like making jokes. Just totally like casual. He doesn't see you, but he's getting this big piece, and you see the ink cartridge that's connected to the gun, and it's the good stuff. It's the demon stuff.
Interesting. That is actually a very interesting piece of news there.
Mm-hmm.
Gives us leverage potentially down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm going to keep myself unobserved and go about my ways.
Okay.
So I think that's a note that I'm putting in the back of my mind, but it's not necessarily a note that either Cantor or RC desperately need as leverage right now. So we'll see. So yeah, awesome. Plan success on that front, and I think I'll definitely go and do my ritual shenanigans. So
yeah, when you get down there, the little weak hanging electric light that's like rewired from another block that is usually swinging on the ceiling, it's off. There are candles lit. None of the bodies are in the pool. It's all still and quiet, just ready for you. When you open the creaking wooden door to land and like tuck your head down to go down the little brick stairs, it's already like the candles are lit and ready, and it's quiet and still in the room.
cool. So yeah, I think this is going to be very similar to the ritual that I did previously, where I approach the pool and there's the whole shenanigans where the candles change color and maybe the water starts dripping upwards from the pool and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The usual.
The usual.
So I think that Oscar probably like approaches it and like the water level rises. It definitely turns into the black. The what do we call it? The never sea? Is that the
the void sea? There's a bunch of names for it. It does. It totally turns into seawater that's like ink dripping onto the ceiling. Satara rises up out of the water and looking like a silhouette at first, like a wet, sort of that black oil, figure. And the water runs off to reveal the inky scales underneath and the black eyes and sharp teeth. No more human guys. And she always has this like playful nature to her where she's kind of like, yeah, let's be bad. And she's got this like weird persona that she puts on sometimes when she's trying to be a human or something. And that's just totally absent. Like she's just this dead-eyed predator. It's like you're in a lion's cage or something, just there's no person happening with her. And this is the first time you've seen that. She's just utterly devoid of any trace of humanity whatsoever. She's not putting on any kind of performance for your benefit, like or to interact with a human. She's just this, almost like made of stone. She's just this thing, and despite being an experienced whisper and occultist, like there's this human part of you that feels like, oh my god, I've crawled into a bear's cave, and like, what am I doing? You know, you just feel it deep in this primal place, that this thing is not your friend. It does not care about you. It wants to eat you. That's why it's here. Yeah. What do you do?
I think there's a moment where I pause, and just for the audience's purpose, I think that like Oscar, if somebody was reading this if somebody was watching this as a TV show, he just pauses and the fans can stipulate whatever they want. But in a comic book, there would probably be like thought bubbles, and like some of the narrative there is he says things to build courage, some of which is, if he feels this way, how will others feel? And like, no, this is just an illusion. All demons give this off. Satara is my friend, like, she's raised me. This is like the end of something that I've been working for so long. Do I give up now? And then he reminds himself, that he's a whisperer and in control.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
That's how Cantor's reality works too. If you just say something loud enough and often enough, it becomes true. So you're
and I think,
on
like,
the right
not
course.
to get too psychological here, but like, that is what you are crossing, this threshold of friendship or a relationship or whatever it seemed like before, to now, like, now you do see, like, oh, I am going to control a demon. It's not because she likes me, like, this is some kind of ancient thing where, like, you're gonna put yourself in with you by using power. You're gonna control somebody else, and it's not like she's not a person. She doesn't have any feelings. Like,
John with the ugly truths today. You're weak. Your girlfriend doesn't like you. She's not even a person, man.
yeah.
That's what you think.
Heavy.
Well,
No, it's true.
is there a moment, where it's like it's me or her? Like, if you back down now, she's just gonna eat your face. So you can't stop now, right? Even if you had regrets or hesitation, you
I mean,
got
homeboy's reckless, so get that XP.
Reckless. Exactly. Go for that. And I think there's this moment where I realize that once this is complete, I assure myself that it's not just going to be red blood. There's going to be some never see in my veins. So yeah. So I would like to roll now, and I believe I get 3d6 from my attune, and I am actually tapping Satara, who's my friend. Despite your claims, John.
It says right here on my character sheet, she loves me, John. You can't take that away from me.
It's the rules. No, it's all good.
She is mechanically your friend, yes. Yeah.
That's all anybody ever really wants. Technically, we're friends.
Well,
So
you guys are all my friends, right? That's all I do.
Technically.
Will actually, I have a clock that says 2 out of 8. She will like me. I will have her favor. So
Oh, favor, yeah. Right.
I'm going to start using that with real people. It said, yes, I favor you. 2 out of 8. 2 out of 8, I favor you.
All right, I'm going to roll. Let's see where this goes.
Ooh,
Hey.
snap, crit.
It's a crit.
Look at that shit.
You just finished that off, I think.
I did.
You didn't have to burn through all your money.
She failed her saving throw against love.
So this gives me.
Tell me how much she loves me, John.
Yeah. I think you finished the clocks in the wrong order, though.
I did,
Bound
but
to.
I realized that if we're going to war, having a demon on my side, especially because my XP is going to take me over into Bound to the Demon, is probably more beneficial to us as a gang, because
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd much rather she be bound and controlled by you than, like, care about you.
So yeah, I think.
Yeah,
that,
so that's okay. So that's 5 ticks. You had 4 remaining.
That's correct.
You got a crit. Roll one of those over onto Zatara's favor clock.
So I think that's totally happening.
So that's okay, and I really like what Sean said, and that's kind of what happens here. Like, you attune and you incant the ancient words that you read in an old book that you found in the manor, and or however you learned all this stuff as a young person. But this is one of those cases where it's not like freeform jazz improvisation. You're like, okay, I do this, I say this, I pause just this way, I make this declaration. You know, it's this it's literally this ritualistic interaction. And there is a point where you have to pause for a second because you got to crit. Like, anyone watching you would think that you were some kind of weird master wizard or something, because it's this very smooth performance, and it's in like the Blades in the Dark equivalent of Latin, like this ancient language you can kind of understand as a English speaking. But there is a tiny microsecond during that exchange where you have to think about the next word you're going to say, and you see Satara like have this moment of like she feels like there's an opportunity for just a second, and then it passes. But there was this tiny little window where the stakes of what was happening came very clear, that like all of this, she has been under someone's control for a very long time, Skurlock, your uncle, and you're taking the bit and bridle and putting yours in, and that transition was, there was this one microsecond where she could have drawn back or bitten the hand, or you know what I mean, and it doesn't happen. It just boop, right in. But you see it happen. You see this like little moment where she feels like she can do something, and then it's gone. So yeah, the ritual ends with
Does she submerge me into black waters?
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. She does. She reaches out her taloned hand and draws you in, and you sink down together. And after a time of being submerged,
No, actually, I think
Can we
just
cut that
to
scene?
somebody else's.
Because I
and
really
I'll
want
just-
to.
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
good. Okay, yeah, you're right.
I have a scene that I'd really like to cut from there, if that's possible.
Into the black water, cut to Arcee.
Yeah, is that awesome? So I have established last time access to Lord Keel's manor,
Mm-hmm.
and so what I would like to do is cut to the pool, a pool, and Arcee coming out of the pool that her husband Julian is in. Because if I have access to the manor now, I'm going to sneak the hell in there and get my vice on with my husband, because I paid for that. So I'm gonna take it, and I would like to surprise him. And sort of the back matter of that is, she arrives in the carriage that Anya has arranged, and she knows the manor well enough. So last time when she arrived, it was like everybody knew and they were all on alert. And it was a big to do. This time she has secured her way into the manor. She has access to the manor. So rather than the most excellent butler kind of cutting her off and all this stuff,
Yeah.
make her way in. And when Julian is going to bathe, that's when Arcee comes to join him. Mr. Husband.
Dang. Yeah, because he sort of left it with like, I can't have anything to do with you. It's a shame on our family.
Yep.
Dropped the mic, and now you're like, seduction. Like, yeah, cool.
Yeah. I hope that's your seduction tactic in real life, like waving your arms, saying seduction, and having your voice break halfway
It's
through.
very sexy.
Seduction.
And
Beautiful.
Arcee's skin is not. Arcee's skin is very dark. So for a moment, as the water is sort of peeling off her, it looks like maybe it could be Satara, but she doesn't have black skin. She just has very, very dark skin. So until once the water kind of peels off, we reveal it's her. And despite her cuts and whatnot, when her hair is tightly braided, and when it lets down and kind of is over her shoulders, especially all naked, Arcee is an attractive figure. She's a pretty lady. And then she kind of glides over to her husband, who I don't think was expecting her.
No, he wasn't. And
that's how Arcee got shot in the chest.
he has a moment of shock and dismay, a moment of consternation, and like I thought I said good day, sir.
Right.
Like he has that cross his face, like kind of like, how dare you, dare you? And then his super hot wife crawls into the bathtub with him, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, okay. Like, fine. What? Yes.
I give him all sorts of assurances that I've got things taken care of, that he doesn't need to worry.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want to talk.
He doesn't want to. Nice.
Like you see it in his eyes, and you tell me, Sean, how you want to handle the situation. But you see in his eyes, nothing has changed for him. But he's your husband. He loved you, and like he's attracted to you, and like this situation is a very appealing to him.
Yep.
And but he's not like, oh, it's forgiven, you're the best, Arcee. He's just like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I haven't worked on that clock yet. I think she won't go into details, but she at least wants to convey that, like, I'm going to be back. Like, this isn't the last time you're going to see me. But all in the midst of sexy times.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm indulging my vice.
You are. That is your vice. You sleep with the wrong people.
Exactly. Right? In this case, the wrong people is my husband. But he's not technically a friend. How do I make him a friend? I want to make him or a rival or a something.
You can. You might as well start that clock right here, right?
Yeah.
That is a thing you can do.
Okay.
Man, he's hard to make your friend right now. I'm gonna say it's eight pieces.
8 pieces?
Yeah. And if everything gets resolved before that's filled in, it may retroactively get smaller, and then will discover that it's already done. But right now, making friends with him is not likely at all.
It's okay.
It's hard now, but it'll be smaller later. Come on, John.
Look, I'm just trying to play the scene, Adam.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm happy if this sounds like it. I'm happy to take a devil's bargain that somebody hears. Somebody else besides us knows I was there.
Sean's joining the I make my own devil bargains.
Well, it just makes sense. I mean, Arcee slips in, but then she's all quiet and subtle getting in. But once the lovemaking happens, somebody might notice. There's some splashing happening in this pool.
I have one. I don't know if you are just gonna sign off on it, but the rival, the rival in his own mind that you guys have given zero shits about at all, who is actively tailing all of you, or as much as he can, is Oscar's rival Flint, the spirit trafficker, who feels extremely threatened by this weird gang associated with magic.
Yeah.
And wants to get to the bottom of why you're so popular all of a sudden and having all this influence. And so he was tailing Oscar at one point. And you guys didn't really get to the bottom of that, but he has people like tracking you, trying to figure out like where you live and who you know and why you have, like, who's pulling your strings or where you get your influence.
I was thinking someone in the house.
Manor and slip in through the servants' entrance or whatever. Like that would be a very interesting piece of information for him to know.
Yeah, I'll take. I mean, it's yeah. What she would be on the lookout for would be like, oh, a servant hearing or something like that. So like, it makes sense that she might, you know, be quiet enough that they didn't hear, but then she wouldn't be expecting Spooky Boy's rival to be tailing her. So yeah, I'll totally do that.
All right, cool.
So I'm rolling 2 dice normally, and I'm taking another one for.
Yep.
All right, clearing 4 stress.
4 stress with the husband. I keep wanting to say X, but it's not technically your
It's not technically X. I mean, he.
You are in fact married.
Clear and 4 stress with the old, it's complicated.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mean, we don't see the resolution, right? It's just we see the look on his face, and that he doesn't want you to talk, and you slip into the tub, and that's the scene. Yeah.
Sure. We don't need all the details. I'm okay with that.
I mean, the HBO version is a little racier, but
Yeah, definitely some side
But this
boob.
is Twitch. Twitch is a safe place.
Terms of service.
Awesome. And I don't think I'm going to start that wheel as a long-term project. I'm glad that it's there.
Okay. It's there when you want to work on it.
Yep. I'm going to take my 2 ticks of recovery from being resilient.
From your magical powers.
From my magical healing powers, which leaves me with 1 tick left.
Should you just to clear? So should your stab wound have made you roll 2 dice on that roll, or were you rolling 4 and you were less 1?
Oh, well, my stab wound gives me -1 die on anything that it would apply to. It's
And
not
you-
-1 die on all rolls. It's
And you
-1
don't think it would have affected your,
my dice?
I mean, I'm not saying we should go back. I'm just saying, it's a stab wound.
I mean, technically it impairs your performance,
Yeah.
but I don't think that really affects how much stress you relieve here.
Well, how about we simplify it by saying I'm going to spend my other action to recover. The lowest I can roll in recovery is 1 tick, and that will
Word.
Sure. If you want to do that, then you're free and clear.
My stab wound is finally healed.
I like that this.
I don't feel this was a performance-based sex act, Adam. But if that comes up in the future, then yeah, it would definitely.
Yeah.
John, if you can have sex without caring about whether it's good or not, more power to you.
I never have to worry about that.
Of course. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my 2 actions. And then, wow, I would like to bolster up some crew. So I'm gonna spend a coin because I got 1.
Okay.
And
Attract some more dudes.
yep. I want to round up some assets.
What's your method?
My method is I feel like we've dipped deep into the crow's foot in terms of like all the people at the docks, whatnot. But who we haven't sort of like rounded up any are our wealthy clientele who are probably actually trained duelists.
Yeah.
There are people.
Pretty much all the young kids that have spread the word are like, they're the Romeo and Tybalts of Duskwall, basically.
Right.
Yeah, there's some young bravos with, $1,000 swords and shit that are hanging.
Exactly. I think I want some of these bravos to die for us. I mean, it would have been fortunate because then they can't buy from us, but whatever.
Yeah, so instead of recruiting like another like 25 dudes, you get like 5 fencers.
Yes.
They're like really good with a blade.
And I mean, the whole way we got them into taking drugs in the first place was like, ooh, it's scary, it's dangerous, it's like it's not what you can find, in Brightstone. And I want to continue along that allure of like just fucking talking about fights, like while at some point while we're what's up, Sean? You're muted.
The thing that I was going to suggest is the Red Sashes are known for their school of swordsmanship.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to fight some of the best blades in the city, this is your opportunity, because after this, they may not be alive.
Right,
So-
right. This chance to test your mettle.
I mean,
Yeah.
my Lara Clev, you take her down, you've made your name for
Sure.
quite some time. You could make your own school. So
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. So at some point when we've already got their attention, we start throwing that idea, and then we just kind of say, well, like there is going to be a throwdown sale, and basically everyone who's cool is going to be there. So that's my way.
That is awesome. And there's a built-in devil's bargain if you want a bonus die on acquiring your asset here.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
There may be other ones, but the first one I think of is none of these guys are going to keep their mouth shut about this at all, like before you make your move, right? So the Red Sashes are going to know, like, you've joined the Lampblacks, you're tooling up, you're coming after them, and these guys are going to, like, go down to their school and be like, I'm going to see you on Thursday. Prepare to die, fools. I'm with the Bloodletters now. I challenge you,
Oh man, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. They challenge people to duels.
That's terrible, but I love
Fight
it.
me IRL, bro.
That's right. That's right.
Oh man, yeah. Like RC doesn't even think that they would do that, but it's totally perfect. I love it. Like she's like, no, you ambush people. You don't tell someone you're gonna fight them. You stab them in the face. At least Cantor has that part right.
You do that so your buddy stabs him in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take that, and Anya is our. I swear we use Anya all the time, but she's
That's
in our contact with them. So
she knows all those people. She actually fences, but she has no interest in this.
I just want her there to coax them along.
Oh yeah, totally. She
Makes
knows
me
all
like
those
her.
people, and yeah, she's like, oh yeah, this is. Well, let me find a name.
Freaking names.
Oh yeah, he has like a family name too. My friend Roth Kinclaith.
Of course, Roth can play.
That sounds like a speech impediment.
He's
so good.
Roth Kinclaith.
Ruth
Yeah,
Kincaid,
kinda.
excuse me.
Excuse me, I'm Roth Kinclaith.
I'm sorry, your name is Rose Kincaid? No.
It's actually really good for a duelist because he's like,
Mhm.
"How dare you, sir? I challenge you to a duel."
Exactly.
You said my name wrong.
Make fun of my name. Yeah, she like offhandedly mentions that he's killed like 11 people in duels or something like that. And you're like, okay,
Okay, we'll take him.
sure. Yeah, and he's one of those dudes too. Like he's just a complete prick. Who
This guy's my new favorite, and I want the game to be about him instead.
I was gonna say,
Can I play Ruth Kincaid? Epic duelist?
This sounds like our
there
kind of
are
guy.
actually rules for that. You can't go on a bender and disappear and play him for a while.
That's true. He you meet him briefly. He's this like ultra Kinclaith is one of the noble families that has Leviathan ships and stuff.
Yeah.
He has this like custom made clothing that's all white. It's like immaculate white, like
Right.
vest.
To show he's never been stabbed in a duel or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
To show that he's
wow.
never bled. Yeah.
This guy is a
He
huge
dyes
ass.
his hair. He has like silver hair that he wears in a braid down his back. He's an anime character basically.
Dude, you're telling me he's a BC.
Yeah,
you need
exactly.
To, like, thumb wrestle over who gets to play in this.
No, so this
Yeah,
is like as
it's
soon as RC sees him, the music suddenly changes. We get the orchestra kicks in. His health bar appears at the bottom of the
Yeah.
screen.
Stop it, cellos!
No, the music. He's a boss. He has like soft leather gloves for dueling, and but are also white. He has a long white scarf that he wears.
Does he have like a silver ring that holds his hair in a ponytail?
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh god, yes. Yeah.
No, clean shaven, no beard or anything.
Yeah.
He's very pale. He looks like a youth. He looks like Oscar kind of. He's probably like 16 or something, and he's just got
Oh.
he's got dead eyes. He's just this like languid, casual douchebag of a guy who's just like lounging on a couch or something, drinking wine, and then he's like, "Oh, excuse me," and like goes out on the lawn and like stabs a guy through the heart, and then goes back to his chess game or whatever.
Nice.
We will
Yeah.
call him Sephiroth.
I both,
Yeah, totally.
I both love and hate this dude. Like I'm just like, man, what? I don't even know how Cantor would react to a person like this.
I know.
Yeah, Psycho Kraut in chat. Yes, he does have white pants. He has all white everything. It's
White
been,
everything,
yeah,
yeah.
he has white boots that have been like specially made.
Oh my god.
Roth King Claith and his punchable faith.
Yeah, and
Oh
you
man.
can tell by looking at him too, RC. Like he's just the best. He's so good with a blade, super deadly. But you could just walk over and kick his ass. You know what I mean?
Like all I need to
God,
do
I
is grab
feel-
that stupid ponytail and beat
I
it.
feel
he
like
he has 1 second to fight you, and when you snatch that blade out of his hand, it's over. You know, you just are gonna.
I feel like his silly appearance or whatever, like his overwrought appearance is part of what gets him in fights that he wins anyway. Like he probably like affects it to a degree, so people are like, "Nice hat, Roth," and he's like, "I challenge you to a duel." Blah.
He's a serial killer, and this is his method. Like he's
Right.
figured out how to get people to challenge him to duels so he can murder them. He's a total monster. He's the worst.
Awesome. I completely, well, since we already know it's a devil's bargain, I completely want to goad him into being like, challenging some dudes at the, no,
Oh yeah. Like, and when you bring it up, he mentions some of their names. Like he knows like the top duelists and stuff, and they're not, the Red Sashes are not part of the Duskwall nobility for the most part. Some of the students there are Aruvian nobility from the consulate and stuff like that. But he knows all their names, like the top people. He knows
Nice.
Valera in particular, and they will never duel pieces of shit like him. Like they have no contact with that whatsoever. They have, it's like a serious sword training school that they have, and so yeah,
We take sword fighting very serious here, Roth. Please leave.
he actually brings them up to you like you would know. He's like, well, I hope I have a chance to cross swords with whoever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm like, and that's where Oscar's point comes in. It's like, yeah, well, you won't because they're going to be dead. So this is your chance.
Yeah, and he like doesn't care. You know, he's like, yes, I suppose. I mean, I don't know.
I'll kill a man if I must.
He's just terrible.
Be like, Roth, they said they didn't like your handkerchief. What do you think of that, buddy? I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're a good judge of fighting ability, RC, and you can tell like with a blade, he is all kinds of trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to just keep raising the stakes until I get his interest in that, like this is some serious shit going down, and he can really, he can get a chance to have all those duels.
Cool. Yeah, and then presumably his joining along will like draw in a few of the people in his circle that he hasn't murdered yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I love it.
Cool.
Awesome. What am I rolling on this? I went in thinking it was consort, but I'm now wondering if it's. I think it could go either consort or command.
So you're acquiring an asset. It's the tier of your crew.
Oh, never mind. So I don't have control.
So it's purely the Bloodletter's reputation that counts here. You do your part as your commanding self.
Yeah.
But then ultimately it rests on the reputation of the Bloodletters.
Cool. So I'm gonna roll 2 dice for our tier because we're still tier 2. At least we're not.
You are right now, yes.
I'm gonna roll 1 for the Devil's Bargain and 1 more for Anya.
One for Anya. Yep.
Oof.
Jesus.
Gee, you had so many dice, and
I'm gonna buy this up with coin.
Okay.
Because I don't want Roth to just be any old schmo.
Yeah, so given the fact that he's such a badass, this roll currently means you only get him.
Yeah.
But if you spend up to Exquisite, then you'll get like a little clutch of swordsmen just like him that will
Well,
I like that they're a clutch, like swordsmen hatch from leathery eggs.
Exquisite would cost 2 coin, right?
it would cost 2.
Do we have? Actually, I have coffers. We have 3 in the coffers right now. Strash, did you use one of those for your extraction?
No, I used. Come on, man! It's the Planet Gives the Tar. It's my personal coin I used.
Perfect. No, it's fine. So I want to spend. I have 1 myself, but I want to spend 1 out of the coffer.
Yeah. So basically, mechanically what will happen is if they were fine, then uh, you would, if you had to fight the Red Sashes alone, you'd have a bit of a disadvantage, which you don't really have to do because the Lampblacks are helping you. But in terms of like skillful swordsmen and shit, you would kind of, they have a bit of an edge. But if you bite it to Exquisite, when your gang goes against them, you won't be suffering from scale penalties against the Red Sashes, from skill and from numbers.
Awesome. Yep, I'm doing it. So, how does money come into your hands? Because I don't want to like pay him.
Drinks on the house.
Possibly.
Yeah.
A
Possibly.
bet. You could front the money as a bet.
Yeah, that's sort of what I want to do. Is like if they're dueling, whatever, put a purse on one of their duels. That
Yeah, that would totally work.
that he'll collect. So if he wins, he collects it. So we're not getting the money, but like I'm gonna front him so that he can go challenge them, and he's got the purse money or I'm gonna bet on him.
Yeah, and that actually is very enticing to him because he's the fourth or fifth child of some baron of the sea and has no prospects moving forward. He has one outfit, and sword, and he has an allowance or something like that. So you're dangling over his head like, you can get an apartment in some shitty part of town and murder people all the time. So yeah, that totally works.
Awesome. All right, I'm out of actions.
Cool.
All right. Well, speaking of outfits, I maybe the cut is between like a shot of Roth looking all like fancy and laden with frippery to Cantor standing in the like clothes store wearing the exact same outfit and being like, nope. Nope, and like walking out of the room to go and like change.
It's on a mannequin, and they're like, I've been told it's all the rage now, sir.
Right. You're in Dungeons and Sons.
Yeah, I'm just like, nope. Not enough collars.
Yeah, it only has 3 collars.
Yeah. So I'm
Enough
just
to not get in the way while you're dueling.
I'm throwing money after clothes. I wanna get this stress down. So,
yeah, they are so happy to see you back, and want to make sure that the draw of Sir's pistol was not impeded by the cut of the coat.
And I'm probably like, yeah, like the first 2 pistols were fine, but the other one back here, like this thing's in the way. Like,
yeah, Cantor's the first guy to put a gun in the small of his back.
I invented that. That's my move. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like it.
I'm waiting for like the moment where you've got like the sword running down your spine and like 50 billion other weapons. You've got that scene from Mad Max where like 10 minutes later you're still taking weapons out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the racks of guns from the Matrix.
So I don't know what Sir would prefer, but what they would be very happy to supply you with is a proper suit of clothes.
We'd like to provide you with a proper suit of clothes. I'm like, what have you been selling me so far? Like,
it's like what's under the coat is it's not to the same standard.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, let's do it from the ground up.
Yeah,
I'm branching out beyond hats and coats. I want the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So as usual with your Vice Adam, you have the opportunity. You can indulge for stress relief, and you can also drop cash on top of that to like acquire the items going forward. Or otherwise, you're like, wearing them out on the town. If Dundridge like fits you and sends you off to see what you think, but it's not your own property, right? So you can decide if you want to, invest in a nice suit or not. But either way, the Vice will happen.
Yeah, for sure. I think I want to save my money for the inevitable lavish wedding.
Right.
And I think part of the, we'll see how this first roll goes, see how I'm doing for stress, but part of it will totally be like, yeah, but so this is great for day-to-day streetwear, but what if I was getting married? What if you got any marriage coats? You got any like getting married hats? I want the
to a-
most
to a tailor you just said.
ostentatious.
It's like going to a used car lot and going like, I don't know anything about cars.
Right.
Like
Totally.
his eyes are like, "Boo."
Blades in the Dark, say yes to the dress, Cantor Hague edition. But let's
Do you have any large guns?
yeah, let's see how many exactly. Yeah, exactly. It would be totally out of context stuff. Like yeah, but like yeah, you got any like ceremonial marriage pistols? How does you got any of that? That
Yeah,
shit?
just like a blank load or something. I want to shoot him off at the right moment.
Yeah, totally. Marriage guns, special
That's why
matching
they
marriage
released the
guns.
doves.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what you do. Yep.
You have any like rice shot or something?
Yeah. Cool. Let's
All right.
let's make a roll. So it's my lowest.
It's your lowest attribute.
Okay. I think and it's just you add them up, right? Like
The
it's-
first column.
Yeah, each one's one. Yeah, it's 2. Okay, cool.
Two. Yeah.
Yeah, I have lots at 2.
That's actually very good.
Yeah, I've spread out my advances a little bit for that very purpose.
Boom.
Okay, so highest results of 5. So I'm down to 3.
Mhm.
3 stress now.
So if you wait, did I actually change that? I can't remember.
How do rules work?
No, that's you're good.
Yeah, it's only if you go over that you overindulge, right?
Yeah. But I want to overindulge.
I know. I'm sad that
fun.
overindulge isn't an option because otherwise I just pick it every time. It's so
Well, I mean, I can make can I make another roll? Like I get two downtime
Yeah.
things, right?
You totally can.
Fuck it,
Yeah.
man. Let's go ham on this Dungeons and
Go all
Sons
in.
shit. Yeah, I'll do it again. So I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good, but show me your next level shit. What else you got? What if I wore a larger coat over this coat? And this is my outside coat. This is my inside
sort of-
coat.
Over.
Yeah, some sort of. I'm just like, and then do you have a hat for my hat? Is there like,
An
Yeah.
over hat.
yeah, exactly. Where's my over boots?
I'm tired of this stupid under hat.
Exactly. Yeah, I got a pocket watch, then another watch that goes around it. It's beautiful. Yeah. So I wanna push it. I wanna push that, and I wanna.
Yeah, I think you are. You're pushing it. Once you bring up the wedding, the son goes back into the back room, and Dundridge comes out.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this son's bullshit. You get me, Big D. Get him out here.
Yeah.
Make
He
this
comes
happen.
out. He's bent over. He's got his tape measure around his collar. His shirt is like your dream of what a shirt could be. It's
Yeah.
this old. It's the sleeves are rolled up. It's kind of stained.
Well,
it's
that's
got
the funny thing about fashion, right? Is that like once you get to a certain point, it becomes less ostentatious, and you're just like, no, this is a perfectly crafted thing. But I don't think I quite understand that yet.
I think this is the first time you've seen something like this. It's
Yeah.
it's a masterpiece. It's beautiful. The way it hangs on its frame, every stitch, it's immaculate. Even though it's old and ratty and so yeah, he comes out to consult, and he like gives you this practiced look up and down. He doesn't say a word. He goes over to one of the mirrors on the wall there, and all the mirrors are these huge counterbalanced doors that open into like rooms with racks of fabrics and shoes and stuff. And he swings one open, and whatever Cantor wants for a thing to wear on his wedding day is in this.
You just sensed it.
I love
It's-
I love how Cantor's going shopping for like a marriage clothes, and my countdown clock is at 2 of 8. Just planning ahead. It's
You're a
fine.
PC in Blades. You know it's gonna happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this little dude can see you a mile away, and he's like, he doesn't have to say, he doesn't have to take a measurement. He's like, this is the one. He swings the door open.
Oh, that's awesome. I have this measuring tape. It's just for show. I don't need it anymore. I can just eyeball it.
Mm-mm.
Yep.
He's got your number. It's so perfect. It's badass and really fancy, but not like Roth would never wear it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm gonna get
But
it.
this is the
For
kind of thing
what?
you have to like
It's
put a
red.
layaway on, right? Like you've got to like start putting
I
money
think
down.
I think with this one I will actually spend like coin. It's funny because I'm investing in a thing that may not happen, but I think that it's like, yeah, I will buy the thing in advance of the
It's
like
an
marriage
aspirational wedding dress.
Exactly.
Adam.
So that every day when I open my closet, I'm like, one day. No.
Yeah, well, and you and Linnea dressed a little similarly, so maybe she could come by for her matching version.
Yeah. Yeah.
She likes a tie.
Someday 6 clock ticks from here. Cool. All right. Let's see if I overindulge. Let's see if I've got some ideas about what this might look like if I blow it. Okay. So I got 2 days. Oh yeah, I go 2 over.
Yes, you do.
All right. So I get all my stress cleared. And then if I overindulge, I make a bad call because of my vice in acquiring it while under its influence. I think we see Cantor show his like obvious like lack of like awareness or not, where I'm just like I thought you were like I'm not having it. It's not fancy enough in my mind. Like I'm still in the tier where like obvious brash frippery is like what I see as being nice. And so he shows me this like perfect understated like it would have been on anybody who was a better person than Cantor Hague, it would have just been like exactly right. And I'm like, fuck this trash. And I like I think I get in a fight, not like a physical fight, but I probably say something so offensive that like Dundridge like walks out. And then I get in a fight with like one of the sons where I'm like, I thought we were friends. Like I'm a good customer. Why are you showing me this shit? Like this stuff is all shit. That's garbage. This is garbage. You know what? Fuck it. You're all garbage. This place is terrible. I am never coming here again. I like grab my purse off the counter and it's like, your hats suck. And I walk out. And that's it. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done with this place.
Cut off.
Yeah, totally. And I see it as being like, this place is I'm above this crap now. Like I gotta move up in the world. Dundridge and Sons, fuck that noise. But really, it's Dundridge being like, get out of here, get rid of this guy. He's a clown.
Yeah, they don't say anything to you. They start out with like, perhaps Sir would like something else, and you're like, Sir thinks you all suck.
Yeah, perhaps Sir would like to stop being jerked around and see the realness. What do you got? Go in the back and give me the real one. This is a joke. And yeah,
you're making all this scene, and like some of the other customers are kind of like glancing in your direction.
And and I think this is it's that awkward like the kids in the nice restaurant. Yeah, where I'm like. And the more he gets self-conscious about it, the more he digs that hole where like somebody else notices him being kind of a baby and he's like, what are you fucking looking at? And I probably like flash my gun and like it gets way out of control. And then I realize that it's out of control, but I can't back down. So I'm just like, no, fuck it. You can't break up with me. I'm breaking up with you. And I like knock over a rack or something on my way out. It's like,
yeah,
fuck this place.
Yeah, and they're what district are they in? Did you write that down?
Night Market, I think.
Oh, in Night Market. Okay, yeah. So this is like right over by the train station where a lot of commerce happens, a lot of bulk shipping and stuff like that. So it's like meatpacking district, kind of New York. This old brick building that's been there forever. It's like got this whitewashed Dundridge and Sons written on the brick outside. That's all faded and. It's just got all this history and elegance to it,
That's why Cantor couldn't handle it. History, elegance,
scene.
Yeah.
And they don't throw you out; you throw yourself out, right?
Exactly. I throw them out.
Yeah, and they don't even say like, "and never come back," but you can. Never
I will, and I wouldn't, right? Like there is a world in which an apology would be a thing that would go a long way to like getting me back in, but Cantor does not operate in the present in that way. Like he's just all bravado. So it's like once you've made the scene, you can't unmake it. Like that's what's weak. Not being a big screaming man baby. It's apologizing and like trying to make it better. That's weak behavior.
It's even worse when you go down the front of the townhouse, like it's got the brownstone steps that go down the front. When you bang out the door and you're like yelling back over your shoulder at them,
yeah,
the bell chimes, you look and there's like 6 blue coats kind of hanging out. not really making eye contact, and you realize that basically like Dundridge has been like,
Secretly, yeah.
just leave him alone, and but as you stumble out, they kind of glance at you, and you realize like he's protecting me from the fucking police too.
Yeah, totally.
Everything
But
else.
yeah, but of course the the outside bit of is like giving the cops a look like what? I didn't do anything. Fuck
Yeah.
you. I'm walking out of this
These are
place.
night market dudes. Like they've truncheoned a lot of people, you know.
Well, and it's interesting
And
because
they have too much respect for this tailor. They do not engage. They just like stare off.
yeah. Well, Cantor's whole thing, like his whole like low self-esteem thing, is that he thought that this is the kind of behavior that like rich cool people can get away with, right? And he's like, look, I have the rich guy outfit. I got bags of money. Why are the cops still treating me like shit? Like, fuck you, cops. Right? And he's the kind of person who would be like, the thought process would be like, I could pay all your salary for a month. Like, I fucking own you.
I'm
Right?
better
When
than
it's
you.
totally not that way. Like, I want it to be one way, but it's not.
It's the other.
It's
Yeah.
really the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you try, like maybe you're even looking for a beating, you know?
I feel like that would be, yeah, like that kind of thing, like would set things back in place, right? Like if they
Yeah.
just, were to like chase me off or like attack me or something, I could be like indignant about it, but I'm running on empty, right? It's all fumes, and so I'm trying to like lash out to get a hold of something that feels familiar. Because I think Cantor is like flailing around in deep water here and realizes like, oh, I don't actually know, I don't belong to this space.
Yeah.
And there's no resolution. You're like, what? Come on! And they
Yeah.
don't do anything. And like
Totally.
people walking the sidewalk stop and look at you, and you just have to be like standing there, like
Totally, yeah, and I can't. I think that's the fucked up thing is that like I can't even get somebody like I have to turn on random people walking by to be like, what are you looking at? Like maybe you're gonna fight me, right? Like come on, and then they'll arrest me. It'll be a whole thing, and then they're just like, oh, I never, and like walk off.
some guy's carrying packages, and you like shove them out of his hands, and as you walk away, and he's like,
Yeah,
It's like Marlowe at the end of The Wire.
yeah.
yeah. I just can't get the response I want out of the world, and then I'm like, fuck this, and I leave. And what's funny is that I'm still wearing like I'm not gonna go throw the clothes out because I paid for them. They're important. But like now it's like until I can find someone better in my mind than like Dundridge and Sons, it's this like weight of kind of like shame, right? Where I'm like, fuck those guys, but I still gotta wear their dumb clothes. Oh. God, I can't even weakness.
Man.
It sucks.
I just pictured the final like cutaway to this, where after all that, like not in this episode even necessarily, but there's a moment where like Cantor like carefully hangs up the coat and like brushes it down when no one's looking.
Yeah, I've got like a special like horsehair brush that I like gently like. Yeah,
Puts it away in the back of the closet.
And all the other stuff.
totally.
No
Yeah,
one's seeing
or
it.
like sitting there like very carefully like cutting the label out of the coat with like a pair of scissors or something. Like just because no one's ever gonna see it, but he's embarrassed. He's just like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and someone in chat actually mentioned this. This is a really good point, that this is supposed to be de-stressing. And I think maybe that's what we're driving at. Like, after all, you are, like, you come out of this embarrassed and out of your element and frustrated, but also, like, all that's off your back.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you've turned your back on that in some sense, and you're like,
Yeah, it's funny because
I'm out.
Yeah, we took a like kind of long, hard look at what a piece of shit Cantor is from the outside, but like it's all kind of reaffirming in the long run for him because like you said, like he's put them. He manages to get to a place where it's all everybody else's fault, right? Like they're shitty for not realizing like what an awesome dude he is, and like the cops are shit, and like they were scared of him, right? That's why they didn't fight him. And like everybody else is crap in some way, and it just serves to reinforce that Cantor is the like big tough brave guy.
And he's also all wound up now, right? Like he's ready to go kick some ass. So in terms of the resources needed to go put the thumping down, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
nice.
Cool.
Are we good? Is that downtime?
Yeah,
I think so.
Sweet. Maybe we take a second break and then pull Operation on the Red Sashes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Works for me.
All right.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll take a short break here. Come back and we'll see what we can get done. So stick around. Be back in a bit.